Hey everyone, what is going on? And welcome back to another meta guide. This one is going to be of the Kanto Cup, and the Kanto Cup is the last week of the season, same as last season. It's not going to count ELO, so it doesn't matter where you are, even if you're 1 point away from Legend. You will not get any ELO in the Kanto Cup, which I think is really unfortunate. I feel like, and I've said it before, but I feel like the Kanto Cup, or the last week, whatever it happens to be in the future, the last week should count for ELO. I've said it before, right, as in the past, but it doesn't, so if you hit Legend, congratulations. If you didn't, there's always next season, and I really believe that you could do it. But yeah, the Kanto Cup. So what is the Kanto Cup? Well, it's, as the name suggests, you can only use Pokemon from the Kanto region. This includes Alolan forms as well as Galarian forms too. So those Kanto Cup Pokemon you could use. But anything else in Johto, Hoenn, whatever it happens to be, you could not use. But let's go ahead and take a look at the S tier. We do have Lickitung and Chansey to start things off, and these are going to need to be XL'd Pokemon. So yeah, you might have them. I mean, you might have Lickitung. It's going to be fantastic if you do, and if you do, more power to you. But if you don't have the XL variants, I would probably skip those. I'm personally not going to be using a Lickitung or Chansey because I just don't have the XLs. And, I'm not going to be using them. But if you do, more power to you. Alolan Muck is going to be huge. So this is probably going to be on every team. Maybe not every team, but it's going to be on a lot of teams, especially since Hypno and Alolan Marowak, as well as Mew, I think are going to be pretty common. And Alolan Muck does do well against those Pokemon with Snarl and Dark Pulse. So I do think Alolan Muck is going to be really good. And as I mentioned, Hypno going to be one of the top performing Pokemon in the Kanto Cup as it was last season. It was the season before that. So we'll see a lot of Hypnos, I think. Probably with Thunder Punch, Shadow Ball, but you could run any other moveset. You could run Ice Punch for the Dragons. Not that there's many dragons. I mean, we have Dragonair, but you could run Fire Punch. You could run other moves, but I think the Thunder Punch, Shadow Ball probably going to be the best moveset for Hypno. Then in the A tier, we do have Snorlax and Lapras. Both of them weak to fighting attacks, but they're both really solid, I think. Both pretty good safe swaps as well. We don't have a lot of fighting types in this cup. Obviously, we have Machamp, but other than that, not really a lot. So I do think those Pokemon are going to be really suited for safe swaps. So keeping them in the back, probably the way to go. And then we have Mew, another Psychic type. So Mew obviously has a large move pool. Are we going to see Shadow Claw with Flame Charge, Wild Charge, Surf? One of those movesets. We might see a different moveset. We could see Dark Pulse on Mew, so it could hit the Psychic types like Hypno or the Ghost types like Alolan Marowak. We could, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. Mew can have such a large moveset, so you don't really know what to expect when it comes to Mew. But then we have Alolan Marowak, another big one. Last season, I saw a lot of teams that ran Hypno and Alolan Marowak on the same team. That's why I think Alolan Muck will be really good, because if you run into both those Pokemon on the same team, Muck is just going to go to town and do really well. So then we have the B tier. We do have Alolan Grimer. So Alolan Grimer I think is going to be really good, but it does have to be XL'd. So chances are you probably don't have it, so you're probably not going to battle many of these. If you do have it, more power to you. But if you're like me and don't, and you didn't invest in one, you're not going to be using Alolan Grimer. So I would probably, it's good if you happen to have the XL one, but if you don't, probably move on from it. Then we have Alolan Graveler. So Alolan Graveler, Volt Switch, really powerful. Definitely going to be doing a lot of damage to the ice types. There's quite a bit of ice types. Lapras, Dewgong, Alolan Ninetales. So quite a bit of ice types. I think Graveler could definitely see some play. In fact, it will see some play. It did last season, so it definitely will see some play. And then we have Dewgong, which is an ice type, as I said, with Alolan Ninetales. And those two ice types I think are going to be really solid. You could run Charm on Alolan Ninetales, but you could also run Powder Snow. I am leaning towards probably Powder Snow when it comes to this format, so I would probably go Powder Snow, Alolan Ninetales to have that ice coverage, charging up really fast. But yeah, really solid pick, really good Pokemon. And then obviously the Dragonair in the middle of those two ice types, going to be a really powerful Dragon Breath user. One of the only ones we have. Obviously there's Dragonite, but I think Dragonair is going to have a lot of play in this Kanto Cup. So moving on to other choices, we do have another ice type. It's an ice and steel type, which is a Alolan Sandslash. Now, steel did not exist back when Kanto came out. However, obviously, they've updated some Pokemon. Plus, this is an Alolan variant, so one of the few steel types in the format. So it could totally see some play as the ice type. Because Powder Snow, Ice Punch, really solid, really fast. So I think it's a great Pokemon. Then we have Alolan Raticate, which is, it's double weak to fighting, so you do have to watch out, but it can do a lot of damage with Bite. We do have the Kanto Ninetales. I think the Alolan Marowak is going to be the preferred fire type, but obviously it doesn't really have any fire charge attacks unless if you go Fire Blast on the Marowak, whereas this Ninetales has Weather Ball, so it's really fast. So it could see some play for sure, especially against the ice types like Dewgong and Ninetales, although Dewgong's also a water type, so I guess it's neutral to fire. Then we have Venusaur, which could be okay. Venusaur is obviously always good, usually good whenever it's eligible for a cup. Usually Venusaur sees some play, so I'm sure we'll see some Venusaur. Beedrill is another one, as well as Charizard, so Charizard could be another fire type. So, again, probably preferring the Alolan Marowak with Fire Spin. Even though I probably wouldn't use Fire Blast, I would probably run Shadow Bone and Bone Club, but I still think Alolan Marowak is really solid. But Charizard is another good one as well. So then we have Wigglytuff, another Charm user, similar to Alolan Ninetales. Although I recommended Powder Snow with Alolan Ninetales, you could run Charm. If you're going with a Charm user, I probably would go with the Alolan Ninetales over Wigglytuff, but yep. Then we have Golbat, which obviously resisting Charm. Golbat is definitely really powerful, so I do like Golbat for this cup. It is a poison type as well as a flying type. I'm probably going to experiment with a bunch of different Pokemon. Just going to have some fun because, as I said, there's no ELO in this cup, so even if you didn't hit Legend, you don't have to worry about your points or whatever. You just have some fun. Use whatever you want, right? Then we have Blastoise, which Water Gun user. Water Gun is a powerful move. Blastoise is pretty tanky, I think, right? So, pretty good Pokemon. Zapdos is another decent one, I think. And then Magneton. I used Magneton actually last season, and I won quite a bit of games. I had multiple 4-1s with it, I remember. So Magneton, a lot of fun. Shadow Magneton, they're really squishy, but they're really fun. So you could definitely get some use out of this with Thundershock, Magnet Bomb, and Discharge. Really fast, charges up so fast, does a lot of damage. So, it's going to do a lot of damage if it's super effective towards something, or if it's neutral towards something, going to be putting out tons of damage. And then we have Machamp or Shadow Machamp, and, probably, as I mentioned, one of the few fighting types. We have others like Primeape, Hitmonchan, but I think Machamp is probably going to be the best one in the Kanto Cup, or Shadow Machamp, as I said. But, so those are the Kanto Cup Pokemon, and we have solid team choices. I put Alolan Muk on every single team because I think Hypno and Alolan Marowak going to be really dominating in this meta. So leading off with Hypno, and then, as I said, Lapras is a safe swap in the back, as well as Alolan Muk if they swap into a Psychic type, because I think that happened quite a bit last season where they would swap into Alolan Marowak or Hypno or Mew, then you could switch in Alolan Muk. Alolan Muk is a great Pokemon. I put it in the back in all three teams. And then we have Dragonair with the Dragon Breath damage, doing so much damage. Even if you go up against an Ice type, they're not resisting Dragon Breath. Dragon Breath is still doing a lot, so unless if you have Fairy type like Alolan Ninetales. But I do think Dragonair will be fantastic. Alolan Marowak in the back, and then Alolan Muk. Very solid team. I think this is going to do great. Then we have Alolan Ninetales. This Alolan Ninetales I am putting with Powder Snow, Weather Ball. But, obviously you could run Charm, and, it could work out well for you, but I am putting it with Powder Snow. And then we do have Alolan Muk in the back, and then we have Machamp. Not really a lot of ground types in this meta to really stop the Alolan Muk, right? Alolan Muk is weak to ground, and that's its only weakness. Machamp could do okay against it, doing neutral damage, Shadow Machamp, but Alolan Muk is definitely going to have quite a bit of play. As I said, I don't think you're going to see many ground types. I think there's other unique picks that you might run into, like, for example, Kanto Marowak, maybe, but, it's going to be very interesting to see how it plays out. I think Alolan Muk, I mean, not that I think. It will do really well in this cup. It did in the previous Kanto Cup last season and the season before that, so there's nothing changing. Alolan Muck is going to be the top contender in my opinion. But let me know what team you plan on using for the Kanto Cup, and I will see you all in the next video. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and have a good day. Can't wait to see you back for Season 8. See you later, guys. Bye.